Live from the American Metal Roof Studios, your home for the biggest newsmakers is here on Michigan's Morning Show with Michael Patrick Shields.
Michael Patrick Shields is on the air.
Good morning, world.
Good morning, Michigan. A very pleasant hump day Wednesday to you. It's Michael Patrick Shields, heard all across the state of Michigan. Congressman Anthony Weiner maybe near quitting. The Hill is citing New York Congresswoman Carol McCarthy. She says, we're hearing now that he might resign in a couple of days. There's some speculation that he's waiting for his wife to return from an overseas work trip before he resigns. She's scheduled to return today. So he's been the center of that growing controversy over sexually charged exchanges with women on the internet. He's on a 2-week leave right now from the House of Representatives. Former President George W. Bush is going to toss out the first pitch at the College World Series this Saturday in Omaha, Nebraska. You'll recall that he was a part owner of the Texas Rangers for a while there, and he was also the first sitting president to throw out the first pitch back in 2001. So the former president also will be representing his father, who played in the first ever College World Series in 1947. So happy Father's Day to all of them. Jeb Bush is the President George W. Bush's brother, the former governor of New York, and the son of George Herbert Walker Bush. And he is in Michigan today. He founded the Foundation for Excellence in Education after he left the governor's office in Florida. And he'll be testifying this morning. He's going to join Rick Snyder, Superintendent Mike Flanagan, and some other House and Senate GOP leaders for a news conference. And they're going to discuss education improvements. Today, we all know that Rick Snyder is on the fast track to try to improve education. And Jeb Bush has a terrific history. He founded the first ever charter school in Florida. And he was really the education reform governor when he was in Florida. He ended affirmative action in the public universities, mandated standardized testing, and promoted school of choice vouchers. And guess what? Refused, he did, to raise taxes for education, instead looking for reforms. So Jeb Bush, who also has very often been, they try to coax him into running for president, and he keeps saying he doesn't want to and that he won't run this time. But nevertheless, Jeb Bush, we welcome him to Michigan, and we may speak with him on the air, so we'll stay tuned for that and see what happens as we work on that this morning. It's right down the street here at the Capitol. We're in our American Metal Roof studio. Go to AmericanMetalRoofs.com and find out how you can save up to 50% on your energy bills. In fact, tomorrow we'll be giving away 24 energy audits. That's a value of about $300 each for free, so join us tomorrow for that. 2 men are in the hospital recovering from burns suffered when they set their van and themselves on fire. Portage police say, how was the accident caused? One of the men lit a cigarette after filling a gas can and capping it with a rag. So if you're going to smoke, you probably shouldn't be messing around with gasoline. I'm just saying, because the fumes ignited and their vehicle caught fire, and the van rolled across Oakland Drive into a fence at a fire station, of all places. You can't make this up. I'm telling you. Cannot make a story like that up. Man accused of trying to blow up an airliner, a little bit more sophisticated than those two. That was on Christmas Day. You'll recall, on a Northwest Airlines flight into Detroit, is asking for a delay in his October 4th trial. We'll see. I guess maybe he needs more time. The underwear bomber to get his act together. I guess his attorney has been spending a lot of time on a case in the Virgin Islands, so he needs more time. You can't make that up either. Geez, I've been busy in the Virgin Islands. Can we delay the trial? Sentencing for 2 owners of a Roseville funeral home has been postponed. They need more time to figure out the terms of restitution. They're charged with spending money they received for prepaid funerals instead of putting it into an escrow account. So when it came time for the planting, if you will, there was no seed money. Know what I mean? The latest employment survey by Manpower shows Grand Rapids and Wyoming, the job market there, the strongest in the United States of America in the third quarter of the year. 30% of companies told the firm they're going to be increasing staff levels. 6% plan cuts. 61% will maintain the current levels. The government's goal, by the way, of having the average fuel economy of vehicles reach 62 miles per gallon by 2025 will result in higher prices and job cuts. That's the finding of the Center for Automotive Research. Dr. David Cole there in Ann Arbor said cars are going to cost up to nearly $10,000 more just to reach that fuel standard. So 250,000 jobs in the auto industry will also be lost. So is it a win or is it a loss to have better fuel economy because the cars are going to cost more and we're going to lose jobs? The Michigan Department of Transportation says work is going to begin to rebuild 7 miles of US 23 in Sheboygan County. That'll run until late October. The highway runs from Presque Isle County line to Cordwood Shores, and I know we have listeners in that part of the state too, in Petoskey and Traverse City and up there in northern Michigan, so be careful when you choose your route. Take that into account. Wall Street today, trading will begin after stocks were higher. Yesterday's close, investors reacted positively to a better-than-expected retail sales report. For May, the Dow was up 123, the S&P up 16, and the NASDAQ up 39. The drop, however, in home prices over the past 5 years, worse than during the Great Depression, according to economist Paul Dales of Capital Economics. 33% fall in home prices since the housing market peaked in 2006. Coming up, we'll talk with Jim Gillespie, the CEO of Coldwell Banker Real Estate, on that matter, and also the most expensive and most affordable markets in the United States. Bad news for romance. Hugh Hefner, the 85-year-old magazine publisher, his wedding to Crystal Harris, who's in her 20s, is off. They were supposed to have the wedding very soon, and I guess apparently she's had a change of heart. They had a nasty argument this weekend, and Crystal Harris, sent a cryptic message on Twitter saying, "There are 2 mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting." It wasn't that long ago. The 2 of them were on Piers Morgan, Crystal and Hugh, the betrothed. Here's what that sounded like.
I think you've got a scoop for me, haven't you? You're going to reveal the date of the wedding.
The date of the wedding, can I tell him?
Sure.
It is June 18th.
June the 18th.
This year, Saturday.
Well, we'll be there. Obviously,
we're
it'll be a huge CNN breaking news event.
Of course, you're invited.
A June bride.
June bride.
My brother will be my best man. The groomsmen will be my 2 youngest sons, Marston and Cooper. And
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've done...
the bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids are... My best friend, Anna, is my maid of honor, and my 2 sisters are going to be my bridesmaids.
Is it going to be a big, glitzy Hollywood affair? Is it going to be at the mansion? And
It will be at the mansion, but it'll be a little more intimate.
It's going to be fun. I mean, he got married once in the front yard, so I asked if we could do it in the backyard. It's really pretty.
In front of the waterfall. Very
We have a
romantic.
waterfall, koi
Very romantic.
pond.
and how did you propose, Hef?
Well, it was on Christmas Eve. We were opening presents, and I hid the ring inside a little box of her favorite princess, Disney princess, is Ariel, the mermaid.
Yeah, I love
So
Disneyland.
I had a little Ariel box, and hidden in it was the ring.
He handed it to me, and he was winding it up, and I'm like, what's going on? I knew it was a little music box. I opened it, I started twirling, and the ring was inside.
Well, I guess they won't be doing it in the backyard after all. Hugh Hefner and what's her name? Crystal Meth? No, Crystal Harris. Sorry about that, Hugh. I'm sure he'll find a way to console himself, though, don't you? I do. In multiples, probably. Back with more of your Wednesday. For years, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan has been...